Real estate agents, don't waste another year trying to figure this business out. I've built wealth through real estate for over a decade, and now I'm handing you the blueprint. Visit itsmelarryb.com and let's get you closing deals. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Real Estate Cheddar Podcast. I'm Larry B.
And I'm Nellie G.
And we're going to talk about today how the real estate market and the stock market kind of tie together and how you can use one to fund the other. It's a really good situation. A lot of people don't think about it.
They don't. And I didn't think about it, actually. Because, I was always under the understanding that you had to have a lot of money to invest in stocks.
Yeah, no, but it's changed the game, right? You got things out now like Rodovit. You can buy $5 worth of Berkshire Hathaway that's $500,000 a share. So it's changed the game. Anybody can be an investor, and that's a great way to save up for your down payment for your next property.
And how would you do that?
Well, automation, right? Automation is key to saving anything. You let's say you're trying to get to your first property, or you're trying to get to that next investment property, but you need that 20% down, right? So we got a class coming up, but this is on It's Me Larry B. If you haven't seen it, there's ways you can buy properties with almost zero down. Anybody can be an investor. There's opportunities everywhere, and we teach this on our coaching. It's melarryb.com. We've got investor coaching and real estate agent coaching, but there is ways with very little money you can buy properties, and it starts. A lot of people don't know how to save that down payment to get started in real estate, and we've used kind of made a method to use the stock market.
When you say automation, do you mean like taking your paycheck and taking like a certain amount out of it and automatically put it in every month?
Well, you can do that. A savings account is not something I would do. Most of the time, it's after money, right? Anything that comes out of your check's probably going in a 401k. You really can't get to that. You could use that to buy your first home, but investment properties is not something you really want to do and take that tax hit. So it's got to be after tax dollars that you're investing.
Okay.
And you automate. There's apps, any of them anymore. E-Trade. When I was younger and started investing, I had to have a Charles Schwab guy, and I had to call him anytime I wanted to trade anything. The internet changed all that.
Robin really changed it all.
Yeah. You can automate $25 a week, $10 a week, whatever you can afford, and you'd be surprised you really don't miss it.
Mm-hmm. And it's a cup of coffee.
The stock market it can be a great way to invest in real estate too. So you have REITs, REIT, and these are real estate investment accounts that you buy shares, and these are companies that go out and they buy real properties, investment properties, things like that with your money, and they make the money, and they usually pay pretty good dividends. There's a few that we've give out here lately on our Facebook page. One paid 19% this year. Great dividends. Dividends can help you really grow your account. So if you're automating just a little money every week, and then you understand how to invest that money, you can really grow your down payment for the next property or your first property pretty fast.
What are your tips? What's your favorite thing to do in the stock market?
We get pretty deep. We get into even some options in our coaching. You can't give all the secrets out here.
Right.
But if I had been dropping a lot of stock tips, I dropped one this morning. And so, following us everywhere, It's Me Larry B, that's a great place to get started. That's free. We don't charge anything. We give out stock tips, and we're not financial advisors. We're telling you what we do to make a living, right? And the things we've done and invested in that work for us to make a good living, and that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we're trying to teach you guys.
And you have to pay attention. Like I obviously pay attention and listen to your little tips, and I adjust my Charles Schwab account pretty much daily. Well, once a day, maybe at least once a week for sure. I get it, see what I've made and what's losing, and try to make the best choice at the time, like selling. So I sold some Ford to buy some UPS. And just things like that. You kind of have to pay attention to it to make it grow faster.
Yes, you do. And we're going to get into the biggest mistakes people make. We're going to show some of that here in a little bit. Automation is key. People don't realize that the two are hand in hand, right? A lot of the stock market and the housing market can go hand in hand. So as the stock market, the 10-year bond, they can all affect interest rates. There is real estate investments out there. There's things like Open Door, Zillow. These are all companies. Realtor.com. They're all companies you can buy and invest in. But taking blue chip stocks and watching, my biggest tip for you guys, I'll give you one here. Buy $5. Robinhood's the greatest thing ever because you can buy a percentage of a stock, right? You don't have to buy a whole share. So I learned in time that I would put my stocks in the watch list, but guess what? I never looked at the watch list. So the biggest thing I can tell you is if you like a stock and you don't think it's down where it needs to be, buy $5 worth of it, because if you own a little bit, you'll watch it. And if you watch it, then when it is down, buy your stock. The time to buy a stock is not when you have the cash. The time to buy a stock is when it's a good time to buy stock, which can mean blue chip stocks had bad earnings. It happens to all of them, right? That's the time to buy a stock.
When you say blue chip, what do we?
Well, Boeing had a real bad year, and I bought a lot of Boeing. I've done really well there. Certain things. Well, when you say blue chip, you're talking about companies that aren't going away. General Motors, Ford, AT&T, and AT&T's borderline, but Walmart, Amazon, NVIDIA, Google. These are all things that are not going away. So if they have a little bad earnings, that's a lot of times can be a time to grab a stock and put it in your portfolio. But we get into a lot more of the big mistakes here in a few. We're going to get into the big mistakes people make with the stock market, and I hear this. Well, let's get into it then. What do you think?
Sounds good.
So the number one biggest mistake everybody makes is they don't sell the winners. If you got a stock that's not a dividend stock and you bought it cheap and it doubled, sell it. I couldn't tell you how many times in my earlier days of investing, I bought a stock, it went way up, I didn't sell it, and guess what?
It went way down.
They had bad earnings. Went way right back down. So sell the winners. When you got winners, there's different kind of stocks, right? So I buy stocks that are dividends. I don't care what the stock does. Actually, if it goes down on a dividend stock close to earnings, that's great because when your dividends come out, you buy more at a less price. Dividend stocks are one thing, but if you got a stock and you picked it up because they had bad earnings, and now it's a year later and it's up 75% or 50% or whatever you feel comfortable as your guideline, sell that stock and take that winner, because there's somebody else that missed earnings and there's another opportunity to make money with that money. So and sometimes the losers. Sometimes you got to sell the losers. You bought a stock, you've had it 2 years, it hasn't done anything. Look, that money's not making money on you, right? It's time to just take that loss, especially at the end of the year. It's close to tax time. Take that little loss on your taxes, take a little loss on it, and move on to the next stop. You got to keep your stocks making money.
Gotta pay attention.
Yeah. And then there's options. We get into options a lot in our coaching. There's a lot to options.
Way too much. What's that platform called that you can learn without investing your own money?
Paper trading. So anybody that wants to get into any trading, I don't know, most of them, Charles Schwab, E-Trade, they have what they call a paper account, right? So you can do every kind of trading. You can do covered calls. You can sell stock short. You can trade options, everything. And you can learn that way without losing your money, because $400 option, they're $400 a piece sometimes they're $20,000 a piece. But I've had $400 options, and you wake up the next morning and they're worth $26. You can lose your money quick on options. You can also make money quick. That's what it's about. But if you don't have some informed decision, a reason why you're buying that option, you're just gamble, right? So say you go to a store and their shelves are empty and it looks like they've had their worst quarter and everything, and then you go into another one of their stores and it's the same way. You can assume it's mismanaged. In the next earnings, you might want to play a put on that, saying it's going to go down. There has to be some kind of informed decision of why you think it is. And then listen, that just because you think it's going to go your way, it don't. But uh, if you can win more than you lose in options, you can really, really make some good money. Everybody's taking losers. I'm taking them. We get into options more of our coaching. It's melarryb.com.
Find us everywhere.
We're everywhere. Spend a little time, set up an account. We'll post our a referral account for Robinhood in the thing. We both get a free stock. We'll put it in the comments and kind of watch our page. We'll give you some tips. Every week or so, I try to throw out a tip of a stock that I'm buying at the time. Again, we're not financial people. We're not telling you how to spend your money. We're telling you what we do and the stocks we buy. The tips we gave out here lately have been really, really good this year. So, we're going to try to keep them coming for you guys so we can all make some money.
And it's the whole stocks and options it seems like so out of reach and so much to learn. But really, I mean, if you just break it down and take some time and do the paper, it's called paper, but
Paper trading.
paper trading.
But it ain't even that. Just go to Chat GPT or one of these and ask them what is the best dividend stocks to buy at the time. If you stay with the blue chip stocks, you hear a whole lot of people with these penny stocks. Listen, if people were turning 17-cent stocks into $48 every week, everybody would be doing it. It don't work like that. Most of the 17, 25-cent stocks ended up being worth nothing at the end. I'm not saying people haven't made money at penny stocks, but that's a tough gig. The more risk it is, the more reward. I agree, but it's also more risk, and you got to think about that. If you're trying to grow a savings for your next real estate investment, you want blue chip stocks that pay dividends, and that's what you want to do. And as the dividends come in, your cap grows, and as your cap grows, you'll do pretty good. If you can pick up a JEPR, JEPQ, or even Apple Ford, they pay a great dividend. They miss earnings a little bit. You pick them up. You make a little bit on a stock, and you're getting really good dividends. Your cap could grow really fast, and you could get that down payment you're looking for that next investment property. And that's what you're trying to do with all this.
Yeah. Stay afloat.
Yeah, you're trying to grow an empire, right? So every dollar you make counts towards that empire. And it starts, for a lot of people, it starts and ends with real estate because with the stock market, because let's say this, you bought a property, now you used all your savings that you had in the stock market, right? Guess what? It all starts over again. Now you're going to automate into the account, you're going to grow the next down payment for the next investment property. And it's agents out here, if you teach your clients how to be a great investor, you could make a lot of investors. There's a whole lot of people that want to do it and they don't know the right way. We're going to get into some classes. DSCR loans, BRRR method. These are all coming up on our podcast.
So make sure you keep watching. We appreciate you guys. I'm Larry B.
I'm Nellie G.
Real Estate Cheddar. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
And me, Larry B. Media. Hooray!
That was really good. Did a good job.